Hi, if you like the video, please remember to subscribe.
Hi, I'm Rob from roblonphoto.com, and I just want to share something with you. I want to share a photograph that I've had printed by Photobox. A photo that I've had printed on their 30 by 20 poster print, which is basically just a big photograph. And I want to share it with you, not because of the subject, but because it really opened my eyes as to what your camera is capable of doing. I know that you could argue that the megapixel war is kind of finished. Now we've got cameras of 20, 25, 40 megapixels and above. There's kind of a bit of a megapixel war going on camera phones. But all of this talk of megapixels and resolution, HD, you get the impression that unless you've got a very, very high megapixel camera, you can't print photos large. Now we all know that any camera basically you can blow up to the size of a billboard, because if you go up to a billboard very, very close, you know, the dots are massive, aren't they? It's only when you stand further away. But I've had a couple of images printed now by Photobox at 30 by 20 inches, which is pretty big, and I've been very, very impressed indeed. And what I've been really impressed about is the fact that they were taken using my old 350D digital SLR, which is 7 megapixels. Most of you people watching this video have probably got a camera phone that's got more megapixels than my digital SLR. So here it is. This is a headshot of Oliver, my son, that I took, I think, last year. I don't know if you can probably see that. Now it might look a little bit dark, and that is because it is slightly dark. I should have brightened it a little bit before I sent it to them. Now, I've had two big 30 by 20 posters done by Photobox. The first one was of a sunset. Now that wasn't quite as successful, because what I didn't do was resize it, because you can't just send your 2 megapixel your 2 megabyte JPEG file to them and it will print out lovely and big. It will get blotchy. But if you've got a copy of Photoshop or Photoshop Elements or Lightroom or any photo editing software that allows you to resize the image, all you do is you just go into your image, and I did this I think in Photoshop, and it was something like Photoshop 8 or something like that, or maybe CS2. What you do is you go into it and you just go into the size dialog, and you just change it to, I think I did it to 30 by 20 inches at not a massive DPI. I think it was about 80, or so it might even be 72 DPI, so it wasn't that high resolution. And then Photoshop resized it. It became quite a large file. I think it became something like a 12 megapixel file, a 12 megabyte file, and that's a JPEG, so it's pretty big. And I sent it off, and I got it back, and I tell you what, excuse me, you probably won't be able to see this on video, but if you get up close, the amount of detail you can see, even up close on this photo, is amazing. You can see every piece of hair, you can see every little pimple, every little freckle on Oliver's face, and it's really good. So I'm here to say to you, no matter what megapixel your camera is, as long as you resize that image in Photoshop or whatever and then send it off, get them printed big, you know, get them printed at 30 by 20 inches. Pick up a cheap frame, I can pick this one up, and you will be amazed how your photographs look, because I was absolutely, because I always thought, oh, there's no point printing bigger than 10 by 15 because it will just break up and will look splotchy. But it doesn't. It looks amazing, and it's even given my, you know, my 350D kind of a bit of a new lease of life. I was kind of, you know, even though quite a lot of the bits on it don't work now, so the auto exposure sometimes doesn't work very well. You can't see any figures inside the viewfinder. If this thing can make, with the combination of resizing in Photoshop, 30 by 20 images that look fantastic, you know, do I really need to buy another camera, or should I spend that money on lenses? So if you're in the same sort of situation where you're thinking, you know, you've got that gear acquisition syndrome, you're thinking, oh, I need to buy a new body, I need to buy a new body, you know, I need to buy a new 24 megapixel body. Only do it if your old camera is like broken, or there's some features you must have. Like, for example, with me, I must admit, my justification for buying a new camera body is this thing on the back of this one. You see how small the little screen is? You know, it's the size of a postage stamp, so I want a big screen that flips out. and turns around, because I want to do a bit more macro photography and a bit more astrophotography, and I think having a flip out screen would work. And as I say, there's quite a few bits on this 350 that aren't working very well. But there we go. Print your pictures big. Go into Photoshop Elements, go into Lightroom, whatever. Resize the image so it's similar to the dimensions that the photo printing service wants to do, and get poster prints done, and you will be amazed. Remember, brighten them a little bit because it's a print, it's not on the screen, and you'll be very chuffed indeed, just as I was by these 30 by 20s from Photobox. Why have I chosen Photobox? Well, to be honest, they tend to send me some really good deals. I think these ones cost me, I think it was £6 plus P&P, and it comes in a nice tube, very good quality, so I'll definitely be ordering more. And in fact the search now is in fact the search for nice 30 by 20 frames. They tend to be bigger than 30 by 20, and then you have the matte inside. So there we go. My name's Rob from robnonphoto.com. Print those photos big. Thanks for watching. Hi, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do enjoy the videos on YouTube or wherever you're watching this particular piece of work, remember there's loads more great photography stuff at robnonphoto.com. that's www.robnonphoto.com. Excuse me. And over there you'll also find the SCL Photography Podcast. So if you're into downloading podcasts, you can go to iTunes or Feedly or wherever you get your podcasts, and just search for SCL, Sierra Charlie Lima Photography Podcast, and you can download and listen to me. Currently the podcast is going out about once a month, and then it goes up to sort of once 2 weeks, or even once a week if I've got the time. You can email me, scalespeeder@gmail.com. that's SCALESPEEDER @gmail.com. And remember, we've got a Flickr photo group as well, so if you go to robnonphoto.com and come down on the right hand side, you'll see there's a link to our Flickr photo group. Come along, it's free to join, post some of your photos and have a go in the discussions. Brilliant. Hopefully I'll see you there. Thank you.